9,000 photographs, 11,500 emails. When and how did you first hear about this?
This was Mayor Rudy Giuliani. He and his lawyer were approached by the store owner after the FBI didn't come back to him. Mayor Giuliani is the president's lawyer. His lawyer, Bob Costello, is a very famous prosecutor in this area, the New York City area. The Mac store owner reached out to Bob Costello since it was abandoned property and gave the hard drive to Rudy. The mayor got me involved, as you know, Sherry, because of my interest and knowledge of the Chinese Communist Party. The many emails, many text messages talk about the deep financial relationship and broad financial relationship of the Biden family with the Chinese Communist Party. He brought me in for that, and then I was able to help strategize with him the best distribution and release mechanism about how to actually get this information out. So as people in Australia know, from all the infiltration that the Chinese Communist Party did into the elites in Australia through finance and through the political class, you're seeing the exact same playbook they ran in Australia as they're running in the United States with the Bidens. Joe Biden has lied about this for years, and it's pretty stunning, the information that's come off this hard drive. It's really shocked the United States. So when I started going through these, what stunned me the most is how broad and deep with other CCP-controlled companies. The Bidens are in business, and I mean real business, where they're getting $10 million a year in finder's fees, plus 50% ownership of a joint venture, which is fully financed by a Chinese energy company. They get 50% of the equity, and of that, Joe Biden gets 10% right off the top. So what stunned me when I first started going through the emails is the breadth and depth of the involvement away from the $1.5 billion private equity fund he has already. And it was stunning. It was stunning, the greed. And when I look back over time, what really got me was how much Joe Biden's lied about this. I mean, Joe Biden has said categorically, my family has nothing to do, no financial relationships with China or the Chinese Communist Party. I think what we have here now, because we brought in a number of experts to look at this, we have a massive national security issue. Remember, the Biden campaign has not questioned any of the emails here, none of them. So what shocked me the most was that the level of detail in the joint venture we're talking about, which is on a company that's already gone bankrupt, this China energy company, which was incredibly controversial. The chairman's missing. He's been taken in by CCP authorities. He's missing. A lot of people say he's dead. The signator, a guy named Patrick Ho, already went to federal prison in the United States, has been extradited to Hong Kong. So what stunned me was the open greed of the Bidens. What they asked for was $10 million a year in cash money for introductions, in addition to have a joint venture that the Chinese Communist Party would fully finance, and they would get the equity upside of it. So, and this could lead to tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars of profit. So it was the brazenness of the Bidens when I went through these emails. And Mayor Giuliani, who's seen a lot. Remember, Mayor Giuliani was the guy that used the RICO statute to put the Wall Street guys in prison. Mike Milken, Ivan Boesky. So he's seen financial white-collar crime, corruption before. I think it's safe to say that he was pretty stunned also. Right? He did nothing. He'd never talked to his son. He didn't know anything about it. The stunning thing about these emails, and then actually the Biden camp admitting something. This is very important. The thing is about these emails is that Biden has basically said to the American people, I knew nothing about it. Now we actually see with their meeting set up. At first, what they came and had the mainstream media spin is that there's nothing in his official records to show this. They've actually copped to the fact of, well, maybe he had a cup of coffee or maybe it was an informal meeting. So this is going to be, that sets the predicate that Joe Biden has lied consistently over the last couple of years to the American people. He lied on the debate stage with President Trump. What the Fox did, which was very interesting on that issue, but also on the Chinese, they actually went to the people on the emails and contacted them. What was so stunning is that they reported last night that one of the guys on the email said, absolutely, the meetings happened. This is not off of some Russia intelligence operation. That email's correct. The meeting's correct. And by the way, the 10% of the equity is Joe Biden. So you're starting to see other people come in here and validate this. It's pretty stunning. For the Australian audience, just remember one thing. Joe Biden for years has said there categorically, my family has not participated in China or has any relationships with anything in China. That's all lies, all discredited. He has said the Burisma thing is all a lie. I don't know anything about it. He stood on a debate stage and spent 3 minutes fighting with President Trump and said it again. So the predicate's been set. Joe Biden's a liar, a stone cold liar. That's what these emails and this other information that's coming out right now show. Every nation that is part of the Alliance of Liberty, we're in a crisis right now because of social media. Remember, let's go back on this. Number one, not only the Biden campaign has not come out and refuted any of the emails, not one. People on the email chain has come out and said those are actual emails. It's to me, and this actually happened, and that's fact. Okay, so we know that. In addition, we haven't released, but we've talked about it. Hunter Biden's lawyer has come to us both with phone calls and with emails saying, "Hey, I've got to get the hard drive back." This is not some Russian intelligence operation. They admit it's their hard drive. So the mainstream media spins this. The issue about social media shutting it down, Twitter and Facebook, and by the way, the New York Post Twitter feed still shut down today. We're late Saturday here in New York. Where we're working away putting this thing together for tomorrow and Monday, it's still shut down. That newspaper was founded by Alexander Hamilton back in the 18th century. It's a tabloid, but I think it's the third or fourth biggest paper in the country and a very respected paper as far as the reporting goes. And it's owned by Rupert Murdoch, who is, if not the most powerful media mogul in the United States, one of the most powerful, and certainly one of the most powerful in the world. So this is not a war room pandemic, right? Or this is not Sherry Markson. They are coming for the biggest guys in the world, and they just shut it down, and they're in your face about it. I have said that unless we break social media's hold on this today, over this weekend and early next week, the president's never going to get a fair election. They're going to take down everything that says the president wins. They're going to take down everything that says the president's leading. Jack Dorsey, Zuckerberg, and the guys at Google, to me, the Justice Department should go in and shut it down on Monday. If they don't shut it down, throw them in jail. They have taken free. These oligarchs in Silicon Valley are out of control. We don't have free speech in this country. They took down the White House press secretary the other day. They went right to the White House and took down the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the United States because they deemed behind the screen that something was inaccurate. And what they said about being inaccurate is a stone cold lie. They said it was hacked material. Nobody says hacked material. This comes off a hard drive. It's absolutely absurd. The Biden campaign hasn't argued it's hacked. The lawyer for Hunter Biden has said it's hacked. We can show you in fact, the FBI and the smart people at the New York Post that work for Murdoch have it. It's not hacked. That's just a lie, and yet they took it down. This is a crisis because this shows the power they have to basically shut down conversation. Panic. Because Hunter, when he dropped it off, was drunk. There's like 2 or 3 of these shops in Wilmington. They called around, and he figured out it might be this guy. He called him, and when the guy says, "Hey, I kind of don't remember. I'm going back to my shop," he sent a couple of emails in panic saying, "I got to get my hands on this right away." So no, we haven't released that yet. We're holding that back to make sure that if they walk into the trap, we're just going to drop it on them, right? Because this is just lies. Right now, the mainstream media, here's the beauty. My training under Andrew Breitbart was put it out, let them lie, and then bang, drop them on the lie. Let them lie some more, drop it again. What you're seeing is a full meltdown by the American elite trying to spin the Russia narrative. Look, Russia's a sideshow to a sideshow. As you know, Sherry, having been on our show, and we love you because of all the breaking news you give us out of Australia. The central existential threat to free people throughout the world is the Chinese Communist Party. I don't need to tell Australians how insidious it is. And this is not the Chinese people. They're the most decent, hardworking people on earth. It's the Chinese Communist Party and what they try to do to infiltrate democracies in the West. That's what you're seeing here. And this is another part of the elites bought off. And so the media is spinning the Russian narrative, which is ridiculous. This is about the Chinese Communist Party. And you're seeing now they're going to have to come to grips with the fact there's no hack material here. This comes off a hard drive. I think because the New York Post went to them for comment and said, "Hey, we've got these emails," and they saw the emails and they went, "Oh my God, look what they've got. They have the real emails of us setting up these deals." They panicked. And when he panicked, what he did is started the call. I'm sure that Hunter, the Biden campaign I'm sure they lit Hunter up. Like, what happened here? How did these guys get your hard drive, get your computer? And this is when the lawyer started calling around, and this is when he sent the emails. We just kind of sat on it because said, we want them to go more into the Russia thing. We want the mainstream media because it just brings out what liars they are. We have the emails from the lawyer. If we need to release them, we'll release them.